Maryland Terrapins facing a no-huddle offense, an offense that spreads you around the field, a la Urban Meyer and what Utah did last year and Florida does. But unlike Florida, they're looking to spread you to run.
To run the ball, yeah. And they just had to deal with Navy, so they've had a tough start trying to have to figure offensive units out.
Passing situation, Covington gets in. Bolston can't get him. Third man in finally comes up. That's going to be Holloway on the sack, but White did well to recover and get down to the 27-yard line. That gives his punter a little bit of room.
Mitchell Covington, this guy, he has some natural pass rushing abilities. Here you see he's there. But this is what makes Pat White unique. Now we've seen two plays that an average athlete would have been stopped. He's turned it into something.
Bill Brady on the punt on 4th down and 10. High snap. We got a whistle. Flags all over the place.
Prior to the snap, false start, kicking team, number 3. Remains 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 15. A lot of penalties on both teams. In particular, West Virginia's offense has struggled today with penalties.
But they're not struggling on the scoreboard.
Nope, they're up 7.
That's all that matters.
They have 8 penalties for 59 yards so far in this ballgame this afternoon. As Doc said, they're up 7-0. Bill Brady is back to punt again. Walker and Wilson are deep for Maryland. There's the gate set up in front. Brady runs into the kick. Here's Walker at his own 42. Walker approaching midfield and has it. Brought down by Magro on the play. And once again, for the 3rd time, Maryland will get in West Virginia territory to start a drive after the 42-yard kick. Next week, you'll see one of 2 games on a station near you. Boston College and Clemson. That's where Doc and I will be next week. Or some of you will see North Carolina take on NC State in the great in-state rivalry from Raleigh. Check your local listings for the game that will be seen in your area next Saturday at 12 noon. ACC football presented by Jefferson Pilot Sports and Citgo.
A lot of action on both those games. The winner takes a big step towards that championship game down in Jacksonville.
Hollenbach. Off play action, throws to the wing, and it's complete. And that is Melendez, who made 5 catches a week ago. He's down to the West Virginia 20-yard line. It's a gain on the play of 27 yards on the hookup from Hollenbach to Sammy Melendez.
We talk about youth. This is a senior Melendez. Watch the hit. Nice little hit inside. Beautiful route. Nice arc on the ball. Good throw. Good catch. Turtles did a break.
Danny Melendez, the senior out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. In the backfield and shot down. First man in there, Andre Wright. Great penetration by Wright.
Big time play.
The sophomore from Mobile, Alabama. Let's head to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Well, you saw Sam Hollenbach make that great pass a moment ago. This guy's really a lesson in perseverance. A year ago this time, he was number 4 on the Maryland depth chart at quarterback. Got an opportunity at Virginia Tech and made the most of it. Now he's a starting quarterback and just threw one heck of a pass. 2nd down and 12 now for the Terrapins. Fenner is out wide to the top side. Walker is slot. Hollenbach looking that way. Now comes back on the other side to Walker.
He's got to run.
Yeah.
Got to run.
Didn't run out the pattern. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you know, when the quarterback's got to take off, this is where, you know, Sam Hollenbach has got to become maybe a little more selfish in this. Okay, he's looking at his keys. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, not to go. Because he can run. He's athletic. He's got speed. You got to run, take off, put your team in a good position.
That's one thing that Ralph Regent was preaching to him to do all week. They said he stands in the pocket, he takes sacks, you either throw the ball away or run, but run to the line of scrimmage.
There you go. You know, because your offensive line is young, you take pressure off them, be a playmaker.
Hollenbach, pass complete to Walker. It's shy of the 1st down, but it's in field goal range at the 15-yard line. Maryland's got to think score here as Morty Ivy comes up with the tackle.
Well, I thought he had Lance Ball that time on the swing. And it's a lot to think about. I mean, there's so much to do, so much responsibility on the quarterback. But you get a big play to Melendez, and then, in essence, you have to settle for a field goal. if you get that.
A 33-yarder from Dan Ennis, the junior, who kicked in the shadow of Nick Novak last year. Podlesh with the hole. The kick is up, and it is good. Dan Ennis continues to be perfect in point-afters and field goals. That's his 5th field goal of the season. A 33-yarder gets Maryland on the board with 55 seconds left to go here in the first half. Ralph Friedgen says it doesn't get us in the lead, but it gets us points on the board. The lead we can work on in the second half.
If I'm the Mountaineers on that sideline in blue and gold now, I'd say great series, because they were they were in position again, and we forced them to settle for 3.
Well, 3 times Maryland has started their drive in West Virginia territory. A 4th time they started from their own 3 and drove it down to the 21.
That's right.
And they've come up really with only 3 points.
Been blank.
West Virginia's defense has done a pretty good job.
Yeah, and of course, and they kept the crowd out of this. I want to continue to emphasize this could be a hostile crowd here at Byrd Stadium, but not so far.
Well, with more on this rivalry between West Virginia and Maryland, let's go to our Mike Hogwood.
Well, 2 notes. First of all, Doc has talked on it, but you can feel it down here in a big way. West Virginia has just taken this huge crowd out of the game. That's first. And remember, over the last 5 years, I know Maryland's won 4 of those games, lost last year. In the last 5 years, the team that took that lead going into halftime is the team that ended up winning the game.
Well, Mike, you're looking at the 7th largest crowd ever to watch a game at Byrd Stadium. 52,413, mostly clad in red and white. But there's a smattering of blue and gold from nearby Morgantown. And those fans travel very, very well. This is one of 3 huge rivalries that West Virginia has on their schedule. The other 2 being Virginia Tech, and then, of course, there's the big one, the big backyard brawl with Pitt. There's the kick, and it is out of the end zone. And West Virginia will get it at their own 20-yard line. Remind you here that West Virginia has no timeouts remaining. So Rich Rodriguez might choose to get a little bit conservative here with a 7-3 lead, take it into the locker room at halftime and see what he can get.
You think so?
Nah.
I was about to say I was going to get next week's dinner paid for on this one.
Yeah,
but you might get. I think he's going to. You know, the beauty of their offense is that a lot of these things are built in. But I think it's a great shot now to try to get one, or at least get a field goal.
Last 2 possessions for West Virginia resulted in only 9 yards. But Narek back at quarterback, and conservative on the first play at least. Man, I should have taken it. I'm a dinner away from everything here. Pernell Williams with the carry up over the 20-yard line to the 22.
But what he doesn't want now is to turn the ball over.
That's right.
He didn't want anything to give, Maryland a feeling of, okay, we've dodged a bullet and we're coming back. He wants them to go in there at halftime, have Big Ralph screaming and hollering at him in disappointment. Because the way I see it, the Mountaineers got away with murder here in the first half and are leading. They've had a tremendous first half for the road team.
Well, Maryland calls their final timeout here with 49 seconds left to go. And West Virginia's back on the field, and everybody says, let's go. So neither team has a timeout here. But Narek back into the ball game. And it looks like they're going to take it the rest of the way up.
You didn't believe in yourself. You wavered.
I'd have made you pay for seafood,
too. You'd have had it, too.
I sure would.
That's right.
But Narek takes 1 knee. The clock will continue to roll as neither team is equipped with the means to stop it. It'll stop by itself here in about 20 seconds. But a hard-fought first half between these 2 teams. Defense has ruled. West Virginia's, you've got to say, they haven't had the best field position in their defense, but they have defended.
They have, man. I'm impressed. And because of the youth on both sides, people say, well, it's been sloppy, it has been this and that. Boy, there are a lot of people in here with training wheels on. There's still some Pampers on both sidelines, right? And so they got to wait for this maturation process to take its course.
10 seconds left to go. That's the last play of the first half. And of course, the Maryland Terrapins headed to the sideline. Ralph Friedgen's team down here by a 7-3 count. Rich Rodriguez and the West Virginia Mountaineers up 7-3 over their arch rivals from College Park. That's our first half of action. We'll be back with more from Byrd Stadium right after this timeout.
And they started off well. They just couldn't capitalize that 3rd down play. They ended up a little short, and it cost them.
Short kickoff. This is Lewis. And Lewis hit by his own man more than anything. Jefferson will get credit for the tackle, but Lewis brought down at the 28-yard line. A 21-yard return. And we've got Pat White coming out to start the second half here for the Mountaineers, the redshirt freshman from Daphne, Alabama. First half possessions for the Mountaineers. Field position hasn't always been their friend. Now Bednarik comes out under center. This is what happened. They had 8 plays, punt, touchdown, punt, and then the half ran out on it. But the touchdown was a pretty drive of 15 plays, 97 yards, 14 of them runs. Here's the reverse. And it is Bruce, wide receiver, gets it on the reverse. It's close to a first down. David Holloway comes up with the tackle.
Well, we wondered where the option was early on. This makes the defense think. It takes away your aggressiveness. I think it was a good decision by Bruce to take what was there.
That is Jeremy Bruce, wide receiver.
A little nicked up on that one. What's we call it, hobble? Over to the side.
It's going to be very close to a first down. They're going to come out and measure it. He hobbles to the sidelines.
It's tough, too. You come in, you get a big play, and you get, nicked up on it. At that point, you want more. You want to go back and continue to play.
Tail of the chains. Let's see where it is. Oh, our imaginary line matches up with the length of that chain. That's nice. Does it ever?
We love new technology.
We certainly do. No longer behind the curve, we're well ahead of the curve. Rich Rodriguez now looking at his team in an offensive coordinator's dream. 2nd and inches. West Virginia last 3 times with the ball, however, didn't move the ball much after their big drive. Dan Moses continues at center, the All-Big East lineman, mostly for his exploits at guard last year at West Virginia. Bednarik pursued by Covington, hit by Wilson, and finally brought down by Christian Varner. But not before he gets the first down and a gain of 9.
And I think this will make this kid's highlight film at the end of the year. It's not spectacular, but what it is tough. It's what you do after you get hit initially that counts. Now, that's a pretty good smack.
Yeah.
And yet, he turns and he competes and moves the chain.
Took 3 other smacks before he went down.
And Josh Williams, 180 Wilson, rather than 185 pounds.
Off now to Colson. Colson, who has the most reps of anybody in that very young but talented backfield, gets it up over the 46, now to the 48-yard line. Gain of about 2 on the play for the West Virginia Mountaineers. And there is Colson. Jason Colson, he's a junior from Rochester, New York. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards in his career at West Virginia. Crossed that mark last week. The throw out of a shotgun. The pass complete to Pernell Williams. He tries to turn the corner, and the ever-present Trey Covington is there to knock him out of bounds at the Maryland 49-yard line. Covington, a redshirt freshman from Bowie, Maryland.
Yeah, Trey Covington is really one of those guys who we're talking a lot about now. He's a playmaker. He's a guy who can make plays in space. He has good wheels, and slowly but surely is starting to really carve a niche for himself.
Gary Blackney talked him up yesterday. Back to throw back as Bednarik to the screen to Myers, and Myers stumbles ahead to the 47. Not much there. Maryland had it sniffed out pretty good. Kershaw is there on the tackle. Covington as well. Gain of maybe a yard down to the Maryland 47.
Here's a play where he shows really good instincts as a linebacker. Again, here he is on the right side. Play goes away. He keeps good balance and doesn't get fooled. Really showing some real good instincts at the linebacker spot.
Pooch punt from Bednarik, his 2nd of the day. A 28-yard punt that kicks Maryland deep. You'll see West Virginia do that when they're in the midfield area, looking maybe to take a chance. That time they punt it away. They're up 7-3. ACC football brought to you in part by Alltel. Steve Martin, Rick Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood here at College Park, Maryland.